And good afternoon and hello again, everyone. Mike Jakubowski, Laneside, with the PBA World Champion and the recent Weber Cup winner, Dom Barrett. You're no stranger to team competition, and we've got a nice stepladder today here live from Vegas.
Yeah, very privileged to be here, and it's great to be with 20 of the best bowlers in the world. You've got 4 teams, stacked teams. You've got a little bit of diversity, some left-handers, a couple of two-handers, and the one I'm actually quite excited about seeing is Jacob Buttroff. He's been
the
fantastic.
left-handed twin spinner and a very interesting player. Dom, Baker team bowling a challenge is you only get to share 2 shots per game personally, but there's a lot more to be said about how that player contributes to the team when not throwing the ball. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. You get 2 shots on the lane, that's it. Obviously, they get a little bit of practice as you get now, but they've had to bowl a lot of games to get here, and they've had to do it on a lot of different lanes. So communication's key, understanding one another as well, because you can communicate something bad and people take it the wrong way, and then you make a move that you shouldn't have made, or and if you look at the scoring pace, that just tells you how many strikes they've had as well as a team.
Well, congratulations on your Weber Cup victory, a great team victory, and a trouncing, as I understand it.
Yeah, it feels like it was a long time ago now, just last week of the schedule we've had this week. But, yeah, it was fantastic. The way that we came together as a team, we didn't have to change lanes or anything like that because it was just on one lane. But, we had 5 sessions, we had 5 different patterns, and we had to really gel as a team. And actually, when you gel as a team well, the pins fall over for you, and that's exactly what we had last week.
Coming up next, it's the live PBA Team Challenge, and we will have a stepladder battle, 4 teams, and 2 games. Total Pins Baker matches will determine our winner. Let's head laneside for the player introductions with Kirk Von Kruger. And here we go. Number 4 seed is Team Brunswick, and the number 3 seed is 900 Global Phoenix. And not too bad when you have a Hall of Famer in your leadoff position, Dom.
Yeah, and the youngest team in the whole competition is probably the 900 Global team from Phoenix. And, yeah, they have to watch Walter Ray get up and... Is he going to get a messenger?
Oh,
get the messenger.
Love tap. 10 goes down.
So you can see Walter Ray there, and coming to the later part of his career, obviously, now, and you see how much fun he's having on the lanes. He's really enjoying himself. That is actually going to... They need Haugen now to step up and show them that it's okay. You can enjoy this environment rather than be scared of it. You get to take it all in.
Michael Haugen Jr. leading off for 900 Global Phoenix. The team behind him is Russ Oviatt, Benjamin Canfield, Andrew Kane, and Jacob Buttroff. And 6 slapping the 10 for Haugen.
Yeah, I think that's important there. Like Haugen, as we just said, compared to Walter Ray of the 900 Global team, he has to go out. He's the more veteran, if you like, of the players on that team. You see Russ Oviatt about to step up in the right lane after Jason Sterner here. It's important that Michael Haugen shows him the way.
Jason Sterner light in the pocket and a bucket crumbler. Behind him is Tom Smallwood, Sean Rash, and Parker Bone III. Extra look at Sterner's pitch.
So this is a 42-foot oil pattern. There's a lot of volume on the lane, and there is some friction to the right, but it's not always usable friction. But if these players are so good that they've used it the right way, and it tells them the scores. I think Team Brunswick bowled 300 in Baker earlier. I think they had 3 270s, and There's been a few 290 games from teams this week. I know we had one. Unfortunately, it wasn't the 300, 298, but it can be done.
Sterner, nice cover. Both pins with the ball. And 900 global. Dom, 3 distinct portions of this competition. Teams began with 6 games of straight team qualifying, and then there was 12 Baker qualifying games before we got into the round-robin Baker match play. So 3 distinct ways for a team to work together.
Yeah, there was. More traditional bowling, if you like, is how we started this event. Messenger just goes in front there. Ball goes a little bit long on this pattern with a lot of oil.
Another two-hander.
Too sharp. Just goes in front, very close though. But yeah, so it started off a bit more traditionally. You actually bowled, all 5 bowlers bowled 6 games together. So that's 30 games, and then it turned to Baker from there on.
Smallwood. And a couple versions of 7-10s are erased. Smallwood with the 7-pin. Rasoviak cross lane will shoot the 10. 900 global Phoenix, 220.8 average in match play, and 249 in the Baker qualifying. Now, the Baker qualifying was just bowling for score. There was no matches and no pins involved there. Do you get up more when you're bowling an opponent versus bowling for score?
I think you do a little bit, yeah. But when you're bowling an opponent, all you have to do is beat your opponent. So if they're having a bad game, you just have to bowl 1 pin better. If they're bowling a really good game, then that's going to put pressure on you to strike. So it is completely different. But when you're playing against the whole field, it's kind of what we do more day in, day out, where we actually just go up and we try and bowl a big score every game. And that was the thing. The scores are really high in Baker. I've never seen anything like this before with Baker and how high the scores were.
Sean Rash up for Team Brunswick. And he drops the rack. In fact, in the match play, Team Brunswick averaging 246 per game for 12 games.
Yeah, it's incredible. So you get 5 guys to go up, only throw 2 shots. One guy gets a 10th frame, obviously, but most of the guys throw 2 frames each. And to have only basically, 3 misses a game or 3 spares a game is huge scores. So many strikes. It's been incredible.
Andrew Kane strikes for 900 global, the former president of the United States Bowling Congress, Hall of Famer Parker Bone III. And that's an easy pick to put Parker in the anchor slot.
Yeah, I think so. I think, on the left-hand side, it doesn't quite change as much. The left-hand side this week has been pretty good. Not always with hits like that. He got away with one there. We'll be quite happy that he got the 6-pin out. But
here's our first look at Jacob Buttriff.
Yeah, this is the... I say kid, I still don't know how old he is. I know I think 3 of them go to Arizona State University. We'll have to double-check that. And it's actually pretty cool that a young team. But on this stage, it is a little different once you get to the TV and extra frame. It's different environment. Nobody's bowling around you. It's just you on the lane. There's no noise, no pins getting knocked over. It is a completely different environment now, and it does take some getting used to. And there's definitely nerves flying around, and you don't always know how to deal with them, and it's your first few times. Let's get this spare here, and hopefully they can have a good finish to this game. Okay, so we're bowling 2 games. You can see Walter Ray getting back up on the left lane, continuing where his team have just finished their first 5 frames. They're going to stay on that lane, and then after the first game, they're going to switch. So Team Brunswick will bowl on the right lane their second game, and Global 900 from Phoenix will bowl on the left lane. So it's completely fair.
I like a 2-game Baker match with total pins to take out that left-right, and you get a blend of both lanes, and you get a little more room to operate in the sense that you get 4 shots as an individual and 2 games as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, any time that you can actually have a few more shots down the lane in Baker, or even if you're bowling individually, you get to have, say like best of 3 at the Masters and things like that. You actually get a bit more lane time. It does come out as a more, I wouldn't say fairer result, if that's the right word, but definitely you get more of a true winner.
Confident pitch there by Haugen, and Brunswick once again on the strike train. Sterner looking to extend a turkey. 7th frame, game 1. Light. 4-7.
So it's kind of hard to say from our perspective right now which lane would be tighter, but having bowled 40 games here this week, some of the left lanes have been quite a bit tighter than the right lanes, and you can see Brunswick kind of fighting their ball coming up that hill, it looks like, because there's so much volume around where they're trying to play.
Oviatt, heavy pocket smash. Extra look.
He's using the ball with a little bit of surface, already has a strong ball roll, and you can see it already go high flush there.
The winner here will go on to face Dead Money. Danielle McEwen, Matt O'Grady, Anthony Pepe, Alex Cavagnero, and Matt McNeil are the next team in line. And the prohibitive favorites going in will bowl for this title. Bill O'Neill, Tom Doherty, Tommy Jones, Wes Malott, and Jason Belmonte. But first, our opening match, game 1 of the 2-game Baker match. Total pins determine the winner.
Yeah, great shot there from Tom Smallwood. You can see most of these guys using quite strong bowling balls. Getting that one out to about 7 boards. Gets it rolling very early, Tom Smallwood, so he's not kind of seeing what Jason Sterner has seen the first part of this game. He gets the ball rolling nice and early into the lane. The ball picks up, and you can see how smooth it is down lane.
And it gets into the nose. First real errant pitch, and a 3-6-10. Sean Rash will get his re-rank. Benjamin Canfield, cross lane, nice cover on 3-6-10.
Another good up-and-coming young two-handed bowler.
He bowls with Russ Oviatt on the Arizona State University bowling team. Here's Sean Rash. 10-pin, no messenger.
That was close. I think Sean was ready to let the younger generation on the other team have it there a little bit. Okay, it's Andrew Kane now stepping up. Yeah, fine looking shot there. So both teams here have, well, Brunswick have 1 lefty, and 900 Global have 2, and both teams have saved their lefties for their 9th and 10th frames.
Interesting way to set the lineup. Small advantage for Brunswick heading into the 10th frame. Again, they'll switch lanes and bowl a second game. Total pins will determine who moves along the step ladder. I'd like to say hello to Shirley Lerner, the super bowling person watching from Newark, Delaware today. Shirley, we're glad you're watching, and thanks for your support of Extra Frame. We'll see you soon. Here's Parker Bone III, 10th frame for Team Brunswick. A little sloppy, but just a 10.
Yeah, last time he bowled, if you remember, he went a little bit high. He tripped out the 6, 7, 10. This one he made an adjustment, didn't quite go high flush enough. The ball went a little bit long. It's a light shake of 10.
Here's Jacob Buttripp, just 21 years old. Check out that style. How would you describe that? A corkscrew?
Well, he gets his hand right in the right spot at the end when you go to let go your release. He gets it in the perfect spot. He doesn't have a traditional grip. His approach, actually he's got fast feet, which is good. So that's how he gets his ball speed with your legs. And he's going to need ball speed because of his strong release. And what we do know about him is this week when he starts striking, he doesn't stop.
That one goes a little wide, but nice recovery.
Yeah, again, if we remember, we were talking about Tom Smallwood just before, how early he gets the ball started. Jacob's actually in that same category. He gets it into the lane very nicely. He missed to the outside part of the lane, a little bit left there. But because he got it started so early, he got it off his hand so good, it picked up almost straight away, and there was no light shake of 7s or 10s for Jacob then. It was just high flush.
So 216 on the board for Team Brunswick. And Global will go into game 2 with a lead here in the PBA Team Challenge. Look at this from the side. Double and 9 for Buttriff in the 10th, and a 235 opener for 900 Global.
I think they'll be very happy with that. 235 so far on Fresh. It hasn't been one of the bigger games that they've had, or any team has had on the Fresh, but right now, that's we're just showing something there.
We're indicating the score on the left side will indicate game 1, and when the score's on the right side, it'll indicate game 2. Little extra visual cue here on Extra Frame. How about that?
Baker style producing.
Baker television production. And quickly moving along, game 2, 19-pin advantage for 900 Global, and Haugen, the leadoff player, drops a bomb, does Haugen. And
he's been solid.
He's the kind of guy you want to have on top of a lineup.
Absolutely. On this, with the team that they have right now, a little bit younger team, not quite as experienced out here as obviously Walter Ray Williams and the Brunswick team, you definitely need to have a very strong leadoff guy, someone who's going to say, okay, guys, follow me.
The greatest of all time, strike apiece. Brunswick needs to double up, but 900 Global first will get a chance to extend their lead. They lead by 19.
In the perfect position right now, lead by 19. That's almost afford yourself a spare in a bunch of strikes when the other team's striking. I mean, that's pretty much all you can do when you do have a lead, and they've got that. Puts the pressure all on Brunswick, but needs to keep going here. He needs to make good shots at the very least. And we see that ball just kind of hurry through there. Don't think he probably didn't throw it any harder, but it certainly doesn't pick up as much on that left lane. And there's no other teams that are watching right now. I know they had some practice, but that's something that
Brunswick can cut into the lead here with Sterner, and he's lighting a 2-pin.
Yeah, look, he got that a little bit wide that time. I don't think that was really the lane. It's like a little bit wide. Hard to tell on ball speed sometimes because there's so much volume in the lane, but it certainly didn't come back. Yeah, if I was one of the other teams and you had a ball wrap around, or even a friend in Extra Frame, who knows? But that's the sort of thing you want to be taking notes of and saying, which lane, if you're the higher seed, which lane you want to have your second game on, first game on, whichever one you prefer. But those tiny little details make a big difference.
Oviatt on the spare for Global, and he's light now. The first split at 210.
Also, when you do bowl in this, the guys had practice, but there's 5 of them sharing practice on one lane, so 10 on the pair. Same as you would do at league at home in a 5-man team, but they only got a few minutes, so they didn't get that many shots. So you have to kind of rely on your team to tell you what's going on. This is when you communicate the best.
Solid's high, 4-pin.
He really liked that one. I think he got it into the lane really good. Left lane probably would have struck. Right lane just hooked a little pinch more. 4-pin. I think he'd be happy with a 4-pin after watching Ben there, 210.
And Open Frame will tighten up the match as Global opens in the third here in game 2. Dom, what kind of information gets passed along the team when your 1-6 and your 2-7s are operating? What are they telling those folks down in the lower end of the lineup?
Well, it's difficult. Haugen obviously is a lot straighter. He's the guy you want lead off. He's going to strike. He's going to say, let's get going. They bowl some very big games. But he's also not going to see the biggest difference in the lane. So they kind of need to go and talk to each other. Like you said, the guys who are in the second and third frame, get together the right-handers especially and say, this is what I saw, this is what happened, why did it happen, figure it out, and then make an adjustment. There's still plenty of frames left.
Brunswick has picked up 12 pins. They now trail by 7 in the match. Sean Rash up for Brunswick, 4th frame. Oof, 6 around the 10.
Very easy to get your ball to go too long, as we said before. There's a lot of oil on the lane. It's quite flat front to back. A lot of oil down lane. The ball just goes a little bit too far and it's very difficult to strike.
Buttriff puts a double together with Andrew Kane, and Global has picked up 10 pins on their lead in the match.
Oh.
And Sean Rash misses a 10-pin. That's a 2-mark swing in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens in bowling. You know, we've talked about before about the scoring changes that can happen, and even looking at the World Bowling Tour. But this is what I love personally about bowling. You go in and make one little mistake, the other guys start striking, and all of a sudden, in three frames time, you could be from a position where you're leading to 30, 40 pins behind.
So Global puts another 10 on there, now up 29 in the match, and Parker Bone recovers with a strike in the 5th. Extra look there. Here are the numbers for 900 Global. 30 games of team qualifying. They averaged 234. They then bowled 12 games of Baker qualifying, averaging 249.5. And then in the Baker match play today, 220.8 average, going 2 and 4. I don't know if Mike Haugen has missed.
Not yet. No, he hasn't yet. He's been bowling great. That's 4 for 4.
With emphasis.
No. You know, Parker gets up and strikes exactly after Sean misses, exactly what he should do. Hall of Famer that he is. Walter Ray's going to get up now. I think he threw that pretty good. He's going to be a little bit disappointed in the strike there. And that's going to hurt Brunswick quite a lot now.
Down 20 in this game and 39 overall, pending the 10-pin conversion from old Deadeye.
Not really sure who's going. There we go. Russ has been told he should probably wait for Walter to finish his frame, so they've both completed the same amount of frames, the 6th frame. Walter being, you know, very respectful, waiting, letting his teammates tell him not jumping down the kid's throat.
Oviatt wants to get on it. These guys are on a string of strikes.
All right, big shot now. It's great to be ahead, but you want to get it over and done with as soon as you can.
Pinch high.
Across.
4-pin.
He's over-adjusted there from his first frame, it looks like. I don't know if he really moved his feet. You can't really tell there, but certainly got the ball to roll earlier.
Running out of frames for Brunswick. And a 2-pin for Sterner. That's 2 of them.
Yeah, Senna's been like pretty much, well, all 4 shots now. 2 on the left lane, 2 on the right lane. Not really sure why on the right lane. Ball could be burning up, could be just throwing it a little bit firm, a little bit amped up maybe. So hard for us to kind of guess up here without knowing exactly how they feel. But the fact of the matter is, Brunswick are in a big hole.
They trail by 39 and just 3 frames remaining.
Yeah, I mean, this is all or nothing now for Brunswick. They have to strike out. Tom Small was about to get up. He's going to probably adjust in a minute from his 4-pin. I expect Brunswick now to strike out. They don't have much choice. Global just need to stay clean. It's perfect.
Extra look. Once upon a time, there were just a couple guys named Belmonte and Palermo throwing two-handed. Now we see quite a bit more.
We certainly do. Good shot there from Smalls. Yeah, speaking of Oscar and I made the double show, and ahead of us is the young Connor Pickford and Anthony Simonson. And he's 18 years old, two-handed, and he bowled unbelievably on Monday and Tuesday this week when we started off. And yeah, deservedly so. They're top seeds, and he's 18 years old, does everything right, looks great.
Yeah, that Roth-Holman doubles is definitely going to be an interesting show coming up at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno as a part of World Series of Bowling 7.
Yeah, and I think that last strike there, just from Andrew Kane, pretty much sealed the deal. Even if Brunswick strike out, that's going to be 216. So that'll be 432. That means Global just need 198 to shut them out. And just a little bit of count. There we go.
That'll do it.
Very strong showing there from 900 Global from Phoenix. Very impressive. Came together. Like we said about the early part of the game in this game where everything could have gone wrong after the 210, they communicated, spoke about it, moved on, and hit the pocket flush and managed to carry most of those frames. And that's what a winning team needs to do.
Tom, speaking of the Roth-Holman PBA doubles coming up, this is going to be an amazingly interesting show. Opening match, a pair of young lefties, Anthony Pepe, Matt McNeil, taking on Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill.
Yeah, and Oscar and I are waiting a little bit later, and we kind of thought, who do we want to see? But we're in Reno. Reno, does traditionally have a very good reputation for left-handers. So the McNeil and Pepe pairing scares us, as it scares probably anyone moving up the ladder, because if they get on a roll, then nothing's really going to change for them. They're going to see the lane the same every game, one bowler on each lane if it's the same format as it was earlier on this year. And they're very dangerous. But on the other side of that match is the best bowler in the world, followed by probably the second best bowler in the world right now. So Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill. Do we really want Belmo running a ladder either?
Yeah, that's, I believe the phrase is pick your poison.
Exactly. But,
Josh Blanchard and Andres Gomez in the middle, and Barrett Palermo in the semifinal, and then the young guns out of the PBA South region, Connor Pickford with Simonson. Simonson just 18, and Connor Pickford, each of them will be looking for their first PBA Tour title, bowling for that title.
Yeah, and they bowled great. We had all week they bowled great. Anthony Simonson, I think, had some real big blocks there, and so did Connor Pickford with great ball reaction. It was very impressive to watch them, and we thought we might be able to give them a little bit of a run for their money for top seeds, but we had a little bit of a wait before the position round, and they came out, had a few minutes practice as we do when we come back, and they bowled a great game and shut us out.
Coming up next, the semifinal match in the PBA Team Challenge, as Dead Money will face 900 Global Phoenix. Dead Money, Danielle McEwen, Matthew O'Grady, Anthony Pepe, Alex Cavagnero, and Matt McNeil. And Dom and I will be back with more in just a moment. Stay with us live on Extra Frame. Extra Frame's live coverage of the PBA Fall Classic continues tomorrow with the PBA 50 Western Open. Coverage with Tim Berg and Phil Bradlow begins at noon Eastern. Join us tomorrow. Final day of coverage live from the PBA Fall Classic. And Tim Berg is standing by sideline with this report. Tim.
And talking to 900 Global Phoenix before the match started today's Stepladder Finals, they had said that chemistry was their big key. They bowled together in the Phoenix area leagues, and they practice together and are very comfortable, all of them helping each other and helping each other make moves on the lanes. Back to Mike J. and Dom Barrett.
Thanks, Tim. Mike Jakubowski with PBA World Champion Dom Barrett, the Dominator. And we welcome you to the South Point Bowling Plaza. How much fun. This is it seems to me to be a very fun place. Big wide open spaces, lots of places to store equipment, and assess for me the competition angle on the lane surface, and what do you see when you come into a facility like this?
Yeah, well, first off, it's a fantastic facility. You just have to, anyone who's coming there should be really excited about it. It's kind of out of the way a little bit at South Point, but as a bowler, I don't really mind that. You kind of don't mind being, kept away from the hustle and bustle of Vegas, really. So you get to come into this quiet little arena, South Point Bowling Plaza, and it has everything you need. It is fantastic. They have still have the pro shop at the old bowling center, so you can go and visit a pro shop at any point. But you walk in, there's a nice big open space. There's nothing kind of on top of you. You have the locker room. There's a massive room that we've had this week. It's been great, and on top of that, it's still the same South Point staff that have always taken great care of us. Mike Monyak and his team they're second to none, really. They'd go out their way at any point to come and make sure everyone feels at home and settled, and it really provides the perfect opportunity for you to go and compete at your best.
Got a lot of bowling coming up in 2015 yet, and 2 majors. Are you going home before the U.S. Open?
I am, yeah. We looked at the flights costs, and we looked at, between Oscar Martin and I, looked at staying and traveling a little bit and getting ourselves ready for heading over to Texas for the US Open next week. But actually decided there's only a few $100s more to go home, and they both have young families, and we've been away so much the last few months that any sort of time you can, even though I have a 10-hour flight actually this evening, but it's direct for me, and it means I'll be home lunchtime tomorrow, so it's not actually too bad at all. And also, when you're away and you're bowling, and say if you're struggling a little bit and you're not able to go home and kind of reset and go back to your sort of normal routines, just day in, day out routines. So, for me, it'll be getting up and walking my dogs kind of thing, away from bowling. Those sort of things make such a big difference. For Martin and Oscar, it's obviously spending time with their daughters and their families and taking some time away from bowling. That's if you're bowling bad. But if you're bowling good, it doesn't really matter. But if you're bowling bad, you need that little reset. You need to come back fresh. And if you're traveling, even though you're not in a bowling center, you're traveling away and you're away from home, you kind of get in this little spiral, and it makes the weeks seem like they're months.
You know, I remember a certain bus in Tokyo where we got a chance to talk about your dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, they, no, we don't have kids at the moment, Cassie, a lovely wife and I, and we just have 2 little dogs that keep her company when I'm away.
Well, we've got Dead Money, and it's Danielle McEwen who won a regional event here that qualifies her for the PBA Tournament of Champions, also by virtue of her qualifying scores in the singles event here, the South Point Las Vegas Open, combined with her qualifying at the U.S. Women's Open. That Danielle will be making the trip to Tokyo for the 2016 DHC event. She is a formidable player, joined by Matt O'Grady, Anthony Pepe, Alex Cavagnero, and Matt McNeil. What was your experience in watching Dead Money?
Well, great team, and they've got together, I think, 4 of the bowlers from the New York area, and then they've added Matt McNeil to the mix. And, they've got great bowlers. Pepe has bowled fantastic this week. He was unfortunate to lose to Simonelli just a few days ago, but I think it was just yesterday or the day before. Some of all the days have kind of rolled into one now. It's been a long week. He had a 29 bagger. I mean, to come off and he won that title the way he did with the 269. The very next day, come in and bowl 269, 290, 300, and then had a bunch more strikes after that. Another 6 strikes the next game, and bowled 1588 for 6 in a 5-man team event, changing lanes at every game. It's huge. So they've got some real informed players. You say Danielle won a tournament just a couple of days ago, winning the non-champions regional, and she bowled great. She bowled that was not a very easy version of Viper. I know Martin Larson, a good friend of mine, was bowling. And
yeah, if there's going to be one vision I have, it's going to be in the semifinal and Martin Larson needing a strike to advance, and the ringing 10 that he left is still ringing. I can't believe that shot.
Yeah, he's been really trying hard to get into the Tournament of the Champions with us. Hasn't quite got the year. I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
I am sure as well.
But going back to this team, Dead Money, they've just got 5 informed bowlers. They're bowling great. Danielle, as you said, just won a couple of days ago. Pepe led. Him and McNeil, Pepe and McNeil are on that doubles TV show. And then you add Alex Cavagnaro and Matt O'Grady. All good friends, all have great vibes off one another, and they're bowling great.
First non-strike for Haugen. It's in the nose in the 3, 4, 6, and 7.
Yeah, had a little bit of time off there. They did go and throw shots on the right-hand side pair. We were actually bowling the finals on 23 and 24. They went to bowl on 25 and 26 to stay loose. They weren't allowed to bowl on this pair. Come back and has changed slightly, or maybe not the best shot.
McEwen a little light, but a good pocket hit and a single pin. Danielle, the winner here at the West Regional that qualified her for the Tournament of Champions, and also a PWBA Tour Championship winner.
Just hooked a little bit too much for him on the spare. But the good news is it's the first frame. If you can have an open, you want it early. It's not the best start, and the other guys are going to feel like they're going to have to step up a little bit now. But they've had a game to settle in, so it could be worse.
Double wood conversion for Danielle McEwen, and Dead Money on the board with a spare.
Other thing I noticed about Dead Money is they're not scared to move their lineup. They've been changing it quite a lot, and the position round just a few hours ago, Danielle was anchor. She's now moved herself up, or the team have moved her up to lead off, saying, come on, Danielle, you go and lead us off. She had a kind of solid spare. She got them off to a spare at least, so they are actually in the lead. I'm guessing they've saving the 2 lefties for the last couple of frames. Okay, here comes Alex Cavagnaro. It's our first look. Very nice, loose, easy swing there from Alex. Would you believe he grew up bowling pretty much with Mike Fagan, I believe. So a lot of similarities between the 2 bowlers. Back to Ben Cranfield. Well, that was a very good shot there. Blower 7. Ball's still pushing a little bit long. Comes in a little quick. And the blower 7.
And a strike for dead money. And 30 games of team qualifying. They averaged 232.9. 12 games of Baker qualifying, 238.8. And in their match play today, 241.1. So that's a nice stair step.
Yeah, they've been getting better every round. Probably growing as a group, understanding each other a little bit more, seeing different. They've got a great team there. They have Danielle, who goes a little straighter. 2 guys who hook the lane quite a lot with Alex Cavanaro and Matt O'Grady, and then the 2 lefties that are already on the double show. Great shot from Andrew Kane. He's struck quite a lot already this the last 2 games. Feeling very comfortable, and another good shot there.
Here's Anthony Pepe bowling in the 4th and 9th frames for dead money. They've got a spare and a double working. 2-game total pins matches. Bowl 1 game on one lane, flip. Bowl 1 game on the other, and total pins will determine after 2 games who advances into our title match. Great profile of Pepe, and just a tad high, 247.
Yeah, they've had the early double. 900 Global haven't doubled yet. They've had that open, so they're very much in control of this game so far, this match. But still, everyone's having their first shots. It takes a little bit of time to get used to the finals atmosphere.
Jacob Buttroff is impressive.
Yeah, he is. His dead rolls off his hand, a lot of revolutions, gets the ball started. And that's something that a lot of bowlers don't really understand, that you can have a high rev rate, but you have to get the ball started the right way. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to control it, and he's doing a great job of that right now. He gets it started, gets it controlled, has full control of the pocket, and all that power, he's going to strike a lot. So this is interesting. Anthony Pepe wasn't sure where his spare ball was, had to go and we like to be in routine as bowlers. We like to know where our equipment is. We like to be ready. We like to go and leave a spare, pick a spare ball up, make it. He just had to go and walk around for a couple of minutes trying to find it. Let's see if that has any effect on his spare.
Good
great
cover.
spare.
Good cover.
True professional there. Shook it all off and spared it perfectly.
First time around the lineup for both teams. And Kirk Von Kruger has an issue of some sort they're sorting out. And Matt McNeil running back into frame.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. He had the shoe cover on. Didn't see where he came from.
Maybe he made a last-minute sprint to the players' paddock area. So here he is, Matt McNeil, lefty. Will bowl with Pepe in the doubles show. Picked up his PBA card, and one of the newest pros. The man has already made a Hall of Fame career for himself in the United States Bowling Congress at a tender age, and here he is ripping a 7.
Yeah, what a great run he was on there at the USBC Championships and Nationals. He was. So I'm obviously not from America, and we don't really come over and bowl the USBC Nationals. It's not something that we really do. A few teams have, but we've heard a lot about it. We've heard multiple Eagles already, and keeps setting the record. Even this year, he had a really big block there, and they were actually a lot harder this year, from my understanding. I wasn't there, but looking at the scores and hearing about it, and he still posted a huge score. Like you say, Hall of Fame career already.
Now here's Danielle McEwen, member of Team USA from 2012 to 15. She spent 3 years on Junior Team USA. She's building herself a very nice career. Again, She won the overall PWBA Tour Championship this year in Arlington, Texas, and look at that physical game.
It's great. It's really showing, there's a lot of two-handers coming in, a lot of young kids that have a really high rev rate, and bowling for a long time, like that's exactly where it was going. It was, as Jason Belmonte does, Oscar Palermo, now Jacob Butruff. But Danielle's proving that there is other ways to bowl. You can be accurate still, you can roll the ball. Danielle, even compared to the other girls, doesn't have a very high rev rate compared to a lot of the other girls, but she is deadly accurate, makes great choices. She gets to, she just won against all the guys just a couple of days ago. Just shows how good she is.
Oviatt strikes, and Cavagnaro doesn't return the favor. And Global now with the 4-bagger working. Opening game of the 2-game Baker match. And the winner of this match will go on to face the favorites coming in here. Bill O'Neill, Tom Doherty, Tommy Jones, Wes Malott, and Jason Belmonte will bowl for the championship here. First PBA Team Challenge. Fits it in. Rolls a 4-5-bagger.
So last week at the Weber Cup, the word that we've learned to use in that event is momentum. Because once you get on the roll and pins start falling for you, it seems like it's very hard for the other team to stop it or even gain any pinfall or breaks, whatever you want to call it, in their favor. And it's all to do with that word momentum. Right now, you can see on the scoreboard, even with the early start that Dead Money had, they're going to be 20 pins down. 900 Global now on a 5-bagger. As soon as once 1 or 2 people get striking in your team, it's very important to keep that going, and you can really build that momentum, build a big score. That's exactly what they're doing right now.
Matt O'Grady up, and he drops a strike in the 8th for Dead Money.
A great looking shot from Matt O'Grady. Going through around the 12th board, gets it all the way out to the 5th board because he gets it rolling early using a strong bowling ball. Gets to pick up nice and early. He doesn't make it all the way to the end of the 42-foot pattern. That's what a lot of people don't quite understand and see. Get the ball rolling a lot earlier than that and get to control the motion down lane. And Andrew Kane, that word momentum, just putting the foot in the gas, saying, "Come on, boys, let's get this done in one game."
Important foundation frame here, as Pepe looking to double up for Dead Money, 9th frame.
Has to strike now, even though it's the first game. Oh,
hey.
Look at that messenger. Yeah, they're really in a must-strike position now, especially with Jacob Butruff, probably the, I'm saying the best bowler of the tournament so far, but certainly the most surprising, I think.
And the young man splits the 8 and the 9. They can shoot 258 in the opener. Extra look. Important for Dead Money, as the best they can do here is to shoot 236 and stay 22 behind with a full ride from Phoenix. Mixer and McNeil, little squirrely pinfall.
Yeah, you can see the ball going long. You can see it go through the pins perfectly there. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. When the ball goes too long, doesn't quite drive hard enough, and you get that.
Drift goes bang, bang.
And you get that fast 10. They call it like a fast 10. You get the pins flying in front of the other pins too fast. A little bit too much ball speed on the ball, but that's not really coming off of his hand too fast. That's more of the ball slowing down on the lane. So, 900 Global going to be in the 250s. One more strike will be 258. Dead Money, one strike here in the 10th frame now, and their field ball will be 215. That's a huge lead of 43 pins. The only thing I will say is we've seen some very high games this week in Baker. 3 or 4 290 plus games, 1 300s. You have to think that Dead Money need all of that coming into this last game.
.258, .215, final in game 1. 43-pin advantage for Global Phoenix. And we'll turn things around And we'll be back with the second game of our semifinal. The winner here gets 4 majors and 100 at 1, featuring the prohibitive favorites that were coming into this event. Stay with us if you can. We're live on Extra Frame.
Global Phoenix, 258 dead money, 215 game 2.
And we roll on. McEwen opens up, and she drops all 10.
Yeah, good looking shot there. She's using one of the stronger bowling balls, as you can imagine as well, getting the ball rolling nice and early into the pins. Not quite high flush, but that's exactly the hit that you want to strike, just to know you're lined up just where you want to be.
Now Haugen lead off for Global.
We have a big lead coming into this game. Does what he did the first frame of the last game, goes a little bit high, but that was a split that he didn't convert. Let's see if he can convert this one, move on for his team.
In some instances, that 3-4-6-7 might be a little easier than the 3-6-9-10.
Yeah, especially with the amount of ball that's to the right at the moment. But kind of expecting to make this. There is a little push getting there.
That was a really important shot for Alex Cavagnaro and a double for dead money. They cut into the lead.
Yeah, not sure if he got up on purpose early there or not. Just to say, you know, we're going to get an early double, because if you remember in the first game, Walter Ray was actually, Russ Oviatt was made to wait for Walter Ray to make his spare so they can bowl frame by frame.
Is it a rule that you have to wait?
I haven't bowled enough Baker to know. It looks like it kind of is, because no, they're talking about it right now. Yep, Matt O'Grady is about to go. So I'm not sure if it's a rule, but it's kind of a courtesy. You're going to play frame by frame. Haugen's there right now. Kind of looks a little jovial, as they should be on the right-hand side there, the team from 900 Global, because they are leading by 43. And, you know, if you're behind, you want to kind of catch up as quick as you can as well. So O'Grady was ready to go up and strike. I'm not sure if they've done that consciously. I don't think they did. I think they were just more momentum trying to get back into the game. Rightly so, Matt O'Grady was told to wait. A great shot there again. Russ Oviatt gets up. Not sure if... looks like he could have moved in a little bit. I'm not sure if that comes from Haugen compared to the first game. But went high flush, we know that.
O'Grady can roughly have the lead. And he got it. Opening turkey. And the lead is 23 for Global.
Yeah, another good looking shot. You can see that one's probably through 10, so maybe we were wrong the first. I was wrong the first time. It was me who said 12 on the right lane, or maybe he's playing them different. But yeah, 10 out to around 5. Nice strong rolling ball, comes back, and you see what that 6 pin done to the 10 pin.
Now Canfield can extend it back out to 33 with a double for 900 Global Phoenix. And just a touch high 4 pin.
Yeah, on the left lane before, he tripped the 4 pin. He went below a 7, tripped the 4 pin for a strike. In the 8th frame of the last game, that one doesn't quite get away with it and leaves the 4 pin.
Here comes momentum. Pepe with a strike and cut to 13.
I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but now Pepe's kind of stepping up in the 4th frame before Ben got to make his spare in the 3rd frame. I think they're just kind of in the moment, to be honest.
I agree with you. I think it's momentum, too. If you're striking, you don't want to sit on the bench. Pepe, 4-bagger in the lead, goes from 43 to 13 just like that.
Just covers the spare. But here's been the 2 best players on the 900 Global team. I'm not sure if it's been all week, but certainly this TV show. We've got Andrew Kane. I don't remember him missing. Maybe we had 1 7-pin in the first match, but he hasn't missed so far this one. And you know, they need him to kind of settle dead money down a little bit now with a double from the 2 lefties.
And Kane loads it up for the anchor. And Matt McNeil chomping at the bit to get up there. Here's an extra look first.
So Matt McNeil there, he waited. It was actually his turn. If we go back to traditionally, you throw a shot, I throw a shot. after Ben made his 4-pin. He waited for the 4 frames to be finished.
5-bagger cuts the lead to single pins. And again, the victim of some tough carry.
Yeah, just going a little long. You can see the head pin coming out in front of the 7-pin, doesn't quite get there, and that's kind of means you've still got too much angle on your ball coming into the pocket when that happens, especially on the Brunswick GSX machines, which is what these are. So, you know, still going a little bit long, not kind of rolling hard enough. Someone whose ball hasn't gone long yet, Jacob Butteroff, but he's 6 pins. Yeah, good spare there from Matt. Dynamics change now. So they've got 20 pins back this game already. Just up to 29 now, I guess, with the count. If you add on the count, they're bowling 220. They're pacing 200 exactly. They're pacing 229. So down to 14 pins.
Now McEwen up. She got this started for Dead Money with a strike in the first. Here's her final pitch of the semifinal.
She's solid.
Impressive.
The last one was kind of half pocket hit. Wasn't a light mixer. Still was a strike, but it wasn't high flush. You can make sure that one was though. Okay, Haugen. Let's see what he's going to do. Make that adjustment after his first frame. The 3, 6, 9, 10. Let's see what he does.
Kept it light, slides the 5 into the 7. Good strike for Haugen. Watch the pinfalls, the 5 slides the 7.
See, I'm not sure because there's 10 bowlers to look at. We just looked at another 5. That may have been a ball change. I think he went to a ball that's a little smoother so it doesn't come off the back of the pattern quite as hard. There comes Dead Money.
Cuts into that lead with the double, and the global lead is now just 4 pins.
Yeah, Russ still has a shot to throw. Make it back 14 now if he gets this one, but right now it's down to single digits. Big shot now because he doesn't strike this frame. That means he can't strike the next frame to gain more pins, so huge shot. It's worth 20 pins. See him getting pumped now. There we go. Good shot. So moved in a little bit from his last time when he went high.
Momentum, global up 14. O'Grady can cut it back to single sticks. 3 frames remaining in our semifinal. O'Grady walks it out.
Great looking shot from Matt. High flush, gets all the pins off the deck. Great shot. Working 279 pace now, Dead Money. Only had 1 miss so far this game, or 1 spare, we should say. Ben Cranfield. Big shot now.
Light and an 8 count. With a spare, the lead will go down to 2 pins. And Money can take the lead with a strike from Pepe. Down 43, trying to climb all the way back. 9th frame.
He likes it. Left his hand up there. Great looking shot.
So the result of that frame is now an 8-pin lead for Dead Money. And here's the pitch from Pepe.
So what a turn, what a turnaround so far. Now, being in complete control. They haven't bowled a bad game, just haven't struck as much as, or in a row, we should say.
Kane really wants to load it up for his anchor. 9th frame for 900 Global Phoenix, now trailing.
That's so solid.
What you want your 4-9 player to do, load it up for the big guy.
Exactly, he's been setting him up every time. Now he really needed this one. He had to have this one to stay in the match, and dead flush. What a great shot. Well, Matt McNeil has this game in his hands. A double and a few pins, right? They're 8 pins ahead, so a double and 3 will shut them out. Ball change in the 10th frame.
Hasn't struck yet. Until now, McNeil.
Yeah, he's gone to the stronger ball, a little bit more stronger cover stock. I think he was using the Pearl ball before. Now he's gone to the Brunswick Nirvana there. Rolls it great, and you see how much earlier that picked up, and well, great strike. Now Jacob has to strike. And he does. Lefty jewel fest right now.
There's a left of us for the rest of us.
Matt McNeil stepping up to win this game. Match, we should say. Make it through to the finals. Needs this one. I think he'd be the first to tell you that wasn't his best shot ever, but rolled it early enough, kept it online, and he struck. See the team there right behind him. What a great shot that is. You can see the whole team just living through that shot. High flush. Just in case, Jacob says, just in case you foul, I'll carry the 8-pin.
Just 3 sticks, and Dead Money will move on to advance and bowl for the PBA Team Challenge Championship against 4 majors and 100 at 1.
And they'll do it.
What a great comeback, and what a gutsy call to change equipment.
Yeah, I mean, what a call. After, you know, you've been the only guy not to strike so far on the whole team. In the other lane, he didn't strike. I don't think he didn't strike in the 10th frame, maybe in the 5th frame in the first game. But yeah, what a ball change. He'd be the first to admit as the one to win. Wasn't his best shot, but because he had the right piece of equipment in his hand, standing in the right place, rolling it the right way. You know, there has been a little bit of misroom if you get matched up correctly, but he had to create all of that and then to execute as well. What a great finish.
Coming up next, 4 majors and 100 at 1. O'Neill, Doherty, Jones, Malott, and all-world Jason Belmonte in our championship match. Stay with us live on Extra Frame. Coming up next, it's the very first PBA Challenge title match. And standing by with Michael Haugen Jr. is Tim Berg. Tim.
Well, Michael, you guys came up a little short today, but talk about bowling with your fellow ASU teammates and alum and just a PBA team experience and team challenge.
Well, first of all, never having been to college, never being involved in college bowling other than the coaching part of it, it's a pretty cool experience to bowl, you know, when you're relying with 4 other people and, you know, it's not just yourself. It's a fun feeling and the emotions, you know, the highs and the lows and the way you talk about things and you battle. It's not like golf where you have you and your caddy. You've got 4 or 5 caddies, and it's pretty cool. And you know, to be able to bowl in a tournament like this against the best players in the world with kids that we coach, that's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, talk about how you guys are able to work together and play the lanes and break the lanes down properly.
Well, I mean, we kind of put a team together that would allow us to complement each other in a certain way. In other words, I go straight, and then you know we had the young kid go straight behind me. Then we had a 2-hander, then we had 2 left-handers. And we just kind of felt like my experience and how I could read the lanes and so forth would translate into what Russ and Ben did. And, you know, it worked pretty well. We just ran into a pretty tough team there in the last game. So.
All right, Michael, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
That's Tim Berg of Above180.com and Michael Haugen Jr., Mike Jakubowski with the Dominator, Dom Barrett, and we look forward to a title match. And obviously the talk coming into this event was about what we have called the Dream Team. Bill O'Neill, Tom Doherty, Tommy Jones, Wes Malott, Jason Belmonte. It was originally supposed to be Chris Barnes, and then due to back surgery, Chris had to pull out of the event, was replaced by Doherty. But just looking at what each of those players has done individually, and what was your running into this team when you ran into them in various places? What was your experience with just watching them work together as a unit?
Yeah, I think they've been bowling fantastic. You know, they've got 5 great bowlers, 4 bowlers who have a major, and the guy who has 100 at 1. That's kind of funny. That's kind of made me laugh all week. And Tom Doherty's taken that very well. You know, he hasn't got upset about it. Kind of took it on the chin. And I said, well, I got 4 the best bowlers in the world bowling with me to hold my 100 game up. And not that he's going to bowl 100 game, I'm sure, but it's a great team. I think Chris Barnes is probably sitting at home wishing he was part of it right now. But Tom Doherty's taken his opportunity. He's been bowling great with it from the start in this team.
So we're watching the final warm-up shots. That is Jason Belmonte. His run is among the most historic runs in the history of professional bowling. The 2-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year, the 3-time and reigning Masters champion, the 2-time and reigning Tournament of Champions winner. Belmonte with Tom Doherty, PBA Tour champion, Wes Malott Player of the Year, Tommy Jones Player of the Year, both of those players future Hall of Famers in the PBA. And Bill O'Neill, really one of just a handful of people that can have a big run at the end of this year to challenge him to deny him that third straight Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year award.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Billy, he's going to have to probably win both majors to do it. Belmo has been amazing, really, absolutely amazing. Just turning up in the weight. He hasn't always been a front runner in tournaments, but he's found a way on step ladders.
He's won from every position.
Every position. It's been the best run in bowling probably ever. I wasn't around, obviously, back when Earl Anthony was on his runs and Mark Roth, but I can't imagine it would be stronger than what he's doing right now.
Coming up, it's the Rolltech PBA World Championship. Live on Extra Frame December 8th through the 13th at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. We'll have a live ESPN Stepladder final. It's the biggest night in bowling coming up. Prime time on ESPN Thursday, December 17th at 7 Eastern. Dom, looking ahead to the PBA World Championship as you've won it, it's even tougher this year, is it not? Just in terms of the amount of games, and we've added a couple more, and the possibility of, I believe, bowling 66 games to get to the show.
Yeah, you say I don't know if you can make it much tougher. It's probably maybe a little bit different this year because it's in a different bowling centre that we haven't played in a few years, but it's definitely the toughest event, I think, to win throughout the whole year. You have to play animal patterns all the way through, and then you have to play finals of animal patterns, and then you have to start again in the World Championships, and then you have to go and win in the stepladder. So it is definitely the one that's going to take the most out of you, I think, out of any, even including the US Open, which we have next week. But it's a great event, and we're very lucky to have that part of bowling. The World Series has been one of the best things that I think have happened to bowling recently, and I'm very excited to be back part of that. Not defending my title, unfortunately, like last year I was, but I'm very excited to be a part of it, and definitely looking at. First off, we have the US Open next week. It's going to be a huge event, but coming back into Reno, actually, I haven't bowled big tournaments there in Reno yet. I played the Nationals we were talking about before once when I was actually eligible to do so, and I won a regional there as well, and I played only one regional. So, I have had success there, but I've only played a handful of games, and I'm, looking forward to trying out somewhere that's new for me, and I'm sure a lot of bowlers are feeling the same way.
What's left on the lane surface of the 42-foot pattern?
A lot, actually. There's so much volume. They put a lot of volume on the lane because obviously you have 5-man team, and you had 5-man team where you had to bowl 6 games. So there's a lot of volume on the lanes, of oil on the lane. It has held up very well. You can see there's been small transitions, but you're not going to have to see people loft in the gutter like you normally would do in a 5-man team event. You can see Tommy just there rolling the ball down nice and early, getting the ball started. That's what I've seen key in this whole building this whole time, is getting the ball started early. And I think when you look back at the TV shows and who have made it and who have done well in every final, it's always been that case. But just getting back to the team that they have here, the 4 majors and 100 at one. You have Wes Malott, been one of the best bowlers in the last few years, former Player of the Year, like you said. Tommy Jones, former Player of the Year, has found a lot of form again this year, had a great summer swing just a few months ago. And Bill O'Neill had also a great summer swing. He's probably a future Player of the Year, has to be said. He doesn't stop Billy. He gets on the lane. You see, I think, Bill hasn't bowled that good this week. He'll come back the next week, go home, practice. He's a big practice guy, I think, and takes care of himself. Has a young family at home to keep him grounded a little bit, which I think is important as well. And he comes out and he's getting better and better. So if he's going to keep getting better, then he's going to be a Player of the Year.
So shots completing for practice, and the Dead Money team is staying loose to the right of our championship pair, and we're just about set to roll. Mike Jakubowski with Don Bear. We welcome you to the South Point Bowling Plaza. This is the championship match of the very first PBA Team Challenge, part of the Fall Classic. Here's Kirk von Kruger.
Elected to start the match on the right lane. Dead Money will start the match. All right, bowler, the pins and scores are ready. You may begin your competition. Bowling fans, one more big round of applause to start our championship match for the PBA Team Challenge Fall Classic here at the beautiful South Point Bowling Plaza. Good luck, bowlers.
And handshakes all around, and here we go. 2 games total pins will determine the very first PBA Team Challenge champion. Not for a PBA Tour title. Not yet. We'll revisit that next year here at the Fall Classic. I've already heard talks of reprising this event.
Yeah, I've heard it's come across very well, and all the bowlers have enjoyed it immensely. It's not something we get to do all the time now as bowlers as a team, and yeah, I think the PBA are looking at it very seriously and making this a much bigger event next year.
Opening pitch for McEwen is a solid 10-pin.
So the 4 majors and 100 at one team got to choose which starting lane. They decided to start on the right lane, which means they're going to bowl their second game on the left lane. So that must mean that they probably want to bowl their bigger game last and come in with a big run. So that means that this is the lane they least like, but I'm sure they like it just enough to bowl a big game now anyway. So we do have our favourites. The favourite team right now is 4 majors and 100 at 1, so we have a big ask from Dead Money. Don't think there's really any holes in this team on the right-hand side now. Tom Doherty's been bowling great, as all of his teammates have been.
That one comes up a bit short. It's the bucket. Cavagnaro is bowling 2 for Dead Money. 2nd and 7th. If you've never bowled Baker before, it's a lot of fun. You can bowl doubles Baker. You can bowl trios Baker.
Weber Cup, we bowl 4-man team Baker.
Which is interesting because you have to shift your lineup to figure out where your anchor's going.
Absolutely, yeah. You do, but it kind of works out to be the same thing. You're still going to have your guys in the 9th and 10th position, the ones who are matched up the best, bowling the best players, whichever way you want to look at it, and they're your strong players. Now there's a missed bear there from Tom Doherty. That's no, even though you said this is maybe not their better lane, they're kind of saving their good lane for the next game. You still want to not make any mistakes, and that was one.
Grady bowling in the middle for Dead Money. They're trying to double up, take advantage of the error, and he does. Drilled it straight back.
Great start from Dead Money. 3 very good shots, all flush in the pocket. 9 spare and a double so far. And a side profile from Tommy Jones. Whoa.
That's some Tommy Jones.
Just about got there. Ball looks a little lazy again. Remember Tom Doherty left the bucket on this lane. The reason why that 10-pin didn't get knocked over the first place is the ball got a little bit lazy down lane. This is the lane that I thought was hooking a little bit more at the beginning. Oil might have pushed down lane there a little bit. The heads dry up and it kind of changes your angle a little bit.
Grady and Pepe go bang bang and jump on the open frame from Tom Doherty. Now Wes Smollett bowling 4 and 9 for the 4 majors and 100 at 1.
Great look here from Wes Smollett.
Good reaction.
One of the best releases in bowling there.
What makes it so good?
The way he gets his fingers back under the ball, he kind of gets his hand in the strongest position, and then he's so soft with it. He's a big guy, he's a big, strong guy, and then you kind of think of him as a big, cuddly bear. He gets the ball off his hand in such a clean way. He's so nice to the ball. He's not trying to be aggressive with it. Lets the ball float off his hand with a lot of revolutions, and you can see how early the ball is going to start picking up as soon as he does it. That's the key thing. You can see his hand there, flip round. Doesn't be too strong with it. The ball picks up, and every time he gets the ball into the pocket, they just go 10 back like that.
Now all world, Jason Belmonte anchoring. 4 out of 5 for 4 majors.
So Jason's the only guy we've seen actually move left on this lane. And I did watch everybody bowl a little bit earlier, and I watched them obviously qualify in lanes, adjacent to me. And nobody really hooked it that much, but Jason's decided that his best look is hooking it right now.
McEwen strikes and an extra look.
Yeah, very nice looking shot there from Danielle.
4 majors and 100 at 1. 230.7 through 30 games of team qualifying. 236.7 in Baker qualifying. O'Neill strikes. And 240.25 in 6 matches, going 5-1. Again, another good stair step for 4 majors during the competition.
Getting better every round again, growing as a team. Looking pretty good.
Dead Money doesn't look intimidated by the 4 majors.
No, they don't. They're potentially on the good lane right now, but making the most of it.
Doherty scrambled eggs, and he gets the strike. And so they put together a 5-bagger after the Doherty miss.
Very important now. They had the open frame early, but they have saved that now with a 5-bagger. But Dead Money, 9 spare, 6 in a row. Dead Money keeps striking, then 4 majors better stay with him.
Ooh, 6 around the 10, string over.
Yeah, good looking shot there from Matt. Not quite sure, why at 10 pin sometimes just happens. The ball does something and not much you can do about it, especially when you're only bowling 2 shots every game. But great looking shot again. All you can do is make your spare and move on. Tommy Jones now has a big opportunity after that 10 pin from Matt.
Oh, and another 6 around the 10. Matt O'Grady is a regional champion. Check out the 6-pin.
Yeah, the last one he had looked a little lazy. I think he made an adjustment to make it go a little bit more flush in the pocket, and no messenger that time.
Good spare for O'Grady. He won his regional in the East region at Port Jefferson Station in New York back in 2013.
Just about makes that spare. So a 22-pin match going into the 9th and 10th. Obviously, we have one more game to go. It's just the first game before they change lanes, so it's nice and fair and everybody bowls in the same environment, the same conditions. And Pepe was very solid last game to get them through into this final. Let's see what he has now.
Pepe rolls a 6. Very interesting to me. So upright in his stance. Generally, you see some sort of lean at the waist. There is none in Pepe.
No, and you kind of go back to that old adage of, it doesn't really matter how it looks, but what's important is when Pepe gets into his last 2 steps, where his swings at the top and coming down, it's perfect. Everything is great. He has a great swing plane. It's nice and straight. When he gets down into the foul line, he's got a nice deep knee bend. He's not tilted too far forward. He's not too upright then, and that's what's really key.
Wes Malott power mix. Setting it up for both anchor players in the 10th frame.
So Matt McNeil sticking with the ball change he made last game in the semi-final. He struck in the 5th frame. See what he has now. He missed a long way right there. He's done that in the field shot. He did it in the shot to actually win the semi-final. He missed a bit right. He did it in the field shot. He missed a long way right. The 5th frame he just threw good. Then he missed right again. So he's not feeling too comfortable right now, Matt. And that's he's going to be their anchor going into what he hopes to be a very close 10th frame in the next game.
Also giving Belmonte the opportunity to pick up 20 pins of that lead, and he got 10 back right there. Spare for McNeil. Now Belmonte can take 4 majors off the sheet to 247 and trail only by 2 with a clean fill out of McNeil.
Yeah, against this team that Dead Money have to face, they're going to need all their players. Matt McNeil has made a couple of bad shots the last few times. He's going to get this fill ball now. He better figure out how to get off his hand good and get back to feeling comfortable because his team are going to need him.
Little wider path, and he pays the 7-10 split.
Yeah, he did 7-10, but right now it's only a little bit of count he lost. He already filled the 10th frame. He's gone and closed it up. So it's almost the same as having
9 spare.
Yeah, you're going to lose a couple of pins.
Mixing strike for McNeil and a 249 for dead money.
Yeah, with one, it's going to be 234 for. See if he gets one. He's going around the whole lane. Yeah, he got one. A strange way to go about it, but he got one.
234. And a 15-pin advantage for dead money as we go into the final game of our 2-game total pins match.
4 majors and 101, 234. The teams will change lanes for their second game. Dead money taking a 15-pin lead into the second and deciding game of this match.
Welcome to South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas, Nevada. Mike Jakubowski with PBA World Champion Dom Barrett. It's the final game of the PBA Team Challenge, and 4 majors trailing by 15 going into Game 2. O'Neill on the leadoff. 6 around the 10.
Yeah, first frame, it's going to stop you bowling 300, but it's not going to cost you too many other pins. He gets a good read. He gets to hit the pocket, makes his spare, comes back and lets all of his teammates know just the little differences in between the lanes that he saw. Important thing is he made that good shot.
Dead money put McEwen on top, and boy, she played well from the top of the lineup, and just a touch high 4-pin.
Yeah, another good shot from Danielle. She can go back to her team. And now, if I'm right, Dead Money finished the last game on the left lane. So they haven't bowled on the right lane now in 2 games. So this is going to be a little different for them now. They didn't get to practice in between the last game as 4 majors did. So it is going to be a little bit different. Danielle made a good shot, though. She can come back and tell her team exactly what she saw. And even if she doesn't always need to communicate with the team, hopefully the team get to see it was a good shot, saw what happened, kind of remember what that lane was like from a few games ago. Good shot from Tom Doherty there. Comes in touch light. A blow a 7.
No strikes on the board yet here. Game 2 of the 2-game total pin match, and there is a strike from Alex Cavagnaro.
Yeah, good looking shot. 15 pins up. Don't want to give away any of those pins. You want to keep your foot on the gas, especially against this team they're playing.
Cavagnaro shaves the 9. Good solid strike, and he loads it up for O'Grady, who delivered a power pack double back in the semifinal. $30,000 to the winning team, $15,000 to the runner-up here. Glad you're with us live on Extra Frame. Here's O'Grady.
Another good-looking shot from Dead Money. Gets an early double. Extends their lead. Not quite into any breathing room yet, though. But Tommy does need to get there.
Jones trying to load it up for him a lot. And he's into the beak. And a crumble, all but the 3-6.
Yeah, big break there. Not only does he avoid the split, he also gets a lot better count. He gets a lot better count as well. And when you're into a 1-game match with a small lead, count's a big deal as well as just a spare.
Pepe trying to extend the lead, double working for Dead Money. Mixing strike.
Dead Money willing those pins over. Gets into the light mixer. You can see the reaction of the whole team.
It's been a lot of fun for me to watch this competition. Like you said, to be able to team up. I was especially impressed with the Baker qualifying last night. That 12-game set was bowled at a sprightly pace, and the action was pretty fast and furious, and it was exciting to watch.
I couldn't believe how quickly we bowled. I guess that just shows, as bowlers, we get ready early. It's just how much time we take in between shots to get ready for the next one. Wow, there is that split now that Tommy got away with and didn't leave it. There's something's happened on that lane. It looks like they did get practice on this lane. I don't think between four majors practicing on this lane and Dead Money bowling, a game on it with two lefties, they're going to change that much. And that shot from Tommy and West didn't look terrible compared to what they were bowling on the right lane.
McNeil's going to jump on it. They're on the strikes.
Yeah, as we saw before, McNeil in the last game let the other guy go. This time he's jumped straight up there.
And momentum riding with Dead Money. I believe Westmont has to make this now.
Yeah, if he makes this, that will give them a 253 opportunity. That means Dead Money need 239, 238 to tie. That's if he makes this and strike out. If he doesn't make this, so he gets 2, then that's only 241. That means Dead Money only need 226. They're already on 220 pace. Has to make it.
Yeah, he got it.
Does.
Perfectly. Give me that in super slow-mo, Jeff Goodger.
What a great spare. Gets it to the right. Ball doesn't overhook.
Pretty.
Perfect spare. Kind of like that reaction too, as if to say, not just to the other team of, letting them know they're there, because they're not at the moment, but just say, okay, teammates, I've got the spare now, come on, let's go. Let's get striking. And if you need to get striking, who else would you want in that position? Jason Belmonte needs to get his team going. There we go. A deep inside line compared to everyone else. Gets that light mixer, gets the 4-pin out. Ball goes very long. It keeps coming back.
So now McEwen taking just a beat more time, knowing the gravity of the shot. Dead Money on the 4-bagger, destiny in their own hands. Last time through the lineup. Oh, 6 around the 10.
Yeah, good shot from Danielle. She waited, let the other team catch up. Threw it really good, just at ring 10. Now this is when the scores did slow down a little bit more now, when the oil gets down lane and you have to fight a bit more angle. Harder to get all the 10 pins to fall over.
Big shot from O'Neill, keeping 4 majors alive.
Dead Money have bowled so good so far. Made no mistakes. Hit the pocket every shot that we've seen, I believe. They need to keep doing it. They need to go and get another double, and 4 majors can't miss. Great shot there from TD, Tom Doherty. Makes that small adjustment from seeing what his team had before when Tommy's ball hooked too much and Wes's ball hooked too much. He had that ball roll out a little bit and leave him the 7-pin, and good adjustment, good strike.
Cavagnaro trying to get the strike train back for Dead Money. They lead by 21, 7th frame, final game of the 2-game Baker match.
Good shot. Good shot from Alex. He knows that his team need him right now. I think they all feel the same. Tommy has a must-strike position. See his reaction there. The last one went high, got away with it, leaving the split. It's another pesky 10-pin.
The corners have been frisky here.
So now it's all in Dead Money's hands. They just need to keep hitting the pocket, not make any mistakes, and they will win. But saying that and doing it is a completely different story. Let's see if they've got it.
Roller?
Messenger.
Yeah, real late. O'Grady. He got 2 texts in between the ball hitting the pocket and the 10-pin going down. Took its sweet time for a big Dead Money double.
Right, so 4 majors have to strike out for 232. Have to, don't have a choice. That means Dead Money 217 to tie. Right now they're at 230 pace. Barring any real bad count, they just need a mark. This is the one. Okay, so Pepe makes this, they win already. They don't need Matt McNeil, excuse me, in the last frame, but he has to make this. And, we've had 2 great games just to this match. They don't always go down to the 10th frame. I think the team are going to be a little bit dejected for majors, but you have to give credit right now to Dead Money. This isn't a team that you would think would be able to take on the big dogs of 4 majors, but they've turned up, and 4 majors didn't even get to take them to the 10th frame. What a great team from New York, and Matt McNeil, of course, as well. And great teammates, great friends, and you can really see how they pulled together, and they're going to be your champions.
Well, we'll see if you run into Belmonte O'Neill or Pepe McNeil in the semifinal of the Roth-Holman doubles coming up in Reno. And Dom Barrett, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Extra Frame will offer live coverage of the Bullmore AMF U.S. Open qualifying and match play.
Yeah, barring too many flight delays, I'll be there. I've got a few flights before then, but I'm very much looking forward to it. It's great to be.
How many times have you crossed the Atlantic Ocean?
Oh, don't ask me questions.
Roughly.
Like that. Why would I even think about how many times I've been on a plane? That's not stuff you want to think about, really.
Well, the dogs can't wait to see you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week in Dallas. And congratulations, Dead Money has done it. $30,000, six per person, $15,000 for 4 majors.
And that really shows, having not a slant against 4 majors, but having a team of great bowlers against a team of the best bowlers in the world, you can win. You don't have to be the best bowlers in the world. They pulled together as a team. You kind of saw that a little bit more, and we got to see them for 2 matches for 4 games, but you get to see them hugging each other now. And I'm not saying that 4 majors wouldn't be like that, but you get to see how much of a team they are, how much they pulled together, what they've been through this week to get to where they are, and how much it means to them. You don't have to have the 5 best bowlers in the world to win this event. You have to be the best team, and I think you're looking at the best team, Dead Money, who have won right now.
And just your overall impression of the team competition as a part of this Fall Classic.
I think just going back to what I said, being a team, I think it's been great. You don't have to be the best bowlers in the world. You don't have to be Jason Belmonte, Tommy Jones, Wes Malott, Bill O'Neill, Tom Doherty. That team doesn't, just because they have the best bowlers, doesn't mean they're going to win. It comes down to being a team, communicating, having positive vibes around you, reinforcing good things around your teammates. Not letting you're going to have ups and downs no matter what team you're in. It's going to come good and bad. You can kind of see that in some of the qualifying stages that you have. But you're looking at the team, the best team won this whole event out of everybody, and you can see that from the other teams you had here. They were all great teams, but the best one won, in my opinion.
Don Barrett, a pleasure to work with you, sir. We'll see you at the U.S. Open. Stick around as Tim Berg talks to our winning captain next live on Extra Frame. And now Tim Berg from Above180.com as a member of the winning team. Tim.
I'm here with Anthony Pepe. Anthony, talk about how you guys were able to work together all week and feed off of each other to ultimately win the championship today.
Well, McNeil and I, we worked together, obviously as partners since we made the doubles show as well, and this. We just we matched up really well as well, and aside from that, I think it's all part of chemistry too. When you know your friends and they become teammates, it just makes everything that much easier to, feed off each other and tell them to make ball changes or make adjustments a lot easier than if they were just someone that we didn't really know as much. So yeah, so being that we're all so close to each other helps a lot.
How did your team come together?
Well. A couple of months ago, my friend Alex, he wasn't even prepared to bowl this event, and I had asked him if he wanted to bowl, so he said yes, and so it was going to be me, Alex, McNeil, O'Grady, and then Alex Aguiar. And Aguiar unfortunately hurt his back, so he couldn't partake in this event. So we had ended up getting Danielle McEwen because she was out here already bowling the singles portion of the Fall Classic, and she also bowled the non-champions regional event. And she had her stuff out here, and we just said, would you bowl with us? And she said, yeah. So we very fortunate to have her. She bowled amazing.